Time it is 6 p.m. on a Wednesday. If not, it'll be 10 o'clock Saturday or Sunday, aka another day in paradise. For those who ain't got paradise, get you a consultation with somebody that might be able to help you out. Hell, or just listen to somebody that sounds smarter than you. Hell, that's what a consultation is. Hey, it's somebody that's either doing what you want to do or can do what you want to do that can tell you how to get the results you're looking for versus you trying to do things. We know how it is. Sometimes we be trying shit. Other times you actually want to get shit done. Hell, if you want to get shit done, that's why you like talking to me. Oh, well, when you're serious about getting it done, just, let me know what it actually is and what the desired result is, and then it can actually be done versus, well, I'm thinking about it. You could think about it your whole life. Hell, been thinking about not doing what the fuck I'm supposed to be all day too. Anyways, let's flip the camera around. Flip the camera around and get the videos queued up and ready to go. Y'all know I'll be sitting here chilling in the background. See, that's what we want. Full screen, full screen. There we go. Put my chat at the bottom. Type in what's popping. And I'm gonna leave y'all alone. Hopefully my flipping nose don't want to be caught because it shouldn't be running, right? Anyways, y'all know how we do. Make sure that looks okay. Y'all know to hit up the big homie for any beats you might want. Pretty sure you can even start custom ordering them and designing them yourselves. I want a lot of hi-hat, little cymbal, and it's got a snare and a kick to it, right? Shout out to Spider Pig. Y'all know to go check him out for our next video. It'll be over there on Super Saturday.
Good evening. Thanks for joining Fox 7 Austin News at 9. I'm Jenna King. New THC regulations going into effect at the end of the month could mean that some of the most popular products will be taken off the shelves. Beginning March 31st, most smokable hemp products will become illegal, leaving many THC vendors unsure about their futures. Fox 7's Marco Bittnell joins us live from the Capitol with the latest. Marco.
Well, Jenna, these new regulations are bringing stricter and more expensive guidelines to THC vendors, and it's left some wondering if their businesses will be able to survive these changes.
We are always in fear that, we're going to lose more and more categories.
Fears rising for THC vendors across the state as new regulations are set to ban one of their most popular products.
All the flower right here, those are natural THCA flower, and the change will be in how it's calculated. So this whole category will probably disappear.
Oz Millman is the owner of Green Herbal Care, which has multiple locations across Central Texas. Since 2018, they've been a supplier in the state's multi-billion-dollar hemp industry, with THCA flower being one of their best sellers. When heated, it turns into Delta-9 THC, giving users a high.
You can see sales are going up. People like the product. People use the product. Why go against the people?
But now THCA flower will essentially be illegal as new regulations from the state say that THCA must be included in the total THC calculations, meaning that most smokable hemp products will no longer meet the legal limit to be sold in Texas. And at Green Herbal Care, flower sales make up about 50% of their revenue, something they'll have to replace with inferior product and something that they fear will have a bigger push to the black market.
They're going to go to places that they don't have lab reports. They have less knowledge of what they're buying. Instead of, this place, they have everything is tested. They know exactly what they get.
THC vendors are also seeing a huge spike in licensing fees as well, as they're now required to pay $5,000 annually per location, a steep change from the $150 they were paying previously. It's a change Green Herbal Care will be able to survive, but others might not be able to.
got used to a lot of changes. So with the fees, we're going to be okay. We're going to survive it. I guess some of the competition will disappear, which is a shame. There is a room for all of us.
The new regulations come after a back and forth in 2025 when the Texas legislature passed a bill banning THC products outright. That was vetoed by Governor Abbott, who instead ordered DHS to implement stricter THC regulations. But still, owners like Oz have begun to lose faith in lawmakers.
I chose Texas to be my home. I really love the values here. It's supposed to be the state of freedoms, and it doesn't seem like that anymore.
You don't like the laws where you are? Figure out where the laws that you like are, right?
Come after THC vape pens were banned last September, but for now, edibles like gummies and drinks, as well as CBD, still remain.
Don't wait for slow politicians.
Reporting from the Capitol,
if somewhere else is ready for you to go.
Hey everybody, welcome back into our latest TDR Cannabis in 5 powered by FlowHub. I am your host, Shad Dales. Brand new week, and today we're going to kick things off by digging into one of the biggest questions investors, operators, and institutions are all asking right now. If cannabis gets rescheduled to the Schedule 3, does that finally unlock banking? We've done a few videos on this before, but let's dive a little bit deeper, because for years, that's been the narrative. Rescheduling equals capital, rescheduling equals institutional money, rescheduling equals normal financial services. But according to a new legal breakdown from the National Law Review, that may not be entirely true. So some of you are aware of this, some of you may not be. But let's start with the reality check here in our latest TDR Cannabis in 5. All right, so rescheduling cannabis from Schedule 1 to 3 is a big deal, no question about it. It removed the 280E tax code, which has been crushing margins across the industry for years. So that alone injects real cash flow back in to operators. But when it comes to banking, this is where expectations need to be reset indeed. So even if cannabis moves to Schedule 3, banks are still required to follow the Bank Secrecy Act and existing FinCEN guidance. So what exactly does that mean? Well, it means enhanced due diligence, ongoing monitoring, and suspicious activity reporting. All of it stays in place. So if you're thinking that rescheduling suddenly means JP Morgan, Bank of America, and the big players jumping in overnight, that's not how this works. In fact, in their article, it makes it very clear. This would be an evolution, not a revolution. So day-to-day banking relationships for cannabis companies likely unchanged in the short term. And that's only the short term, because here's where things do get interesting, and where investors indeed should be paying attention. Rescheduling is going to act as a signal to regulators, and a signal also to institutions. And more importantly, as we know, a signal that cannabis is moving out of the highest risk category into the hands of the federal government. That cannot be overlooked, because that indeed matters. Because while the rules may not immediately change, guess what? It's a wake-up call. The perception of risk absolutely changes. So really what the industry is hoping for, and what this article points to, is an updated federal guidance. If regulators step in post-rescheduling and modernize the framework for cannabis banking, well, that's when things starting to open up indeed. That's when more regional banks are definitely going to step in, and that's when lending also expands. It's also when capital actually starts to flow more freely. But without all that, then we're still dealing with friction, which we've seen for many years. Still dealing with compliance hurdles, and still dealing with hesitation from major financial institutions. And this is why legislation like the Safer Banking Act definitely matter, because rescheduling alone does not give banks legal protection. Only Congress can do that. And many lawmakers in Washington have openly said to us that yes, they'll start to look at cannabis completely different, and hopefully get a vote on the Senate floor for this bill to finally pass. So let's now zoom out for a second, and what does this really matter for the cannabis trade? So when we look at this, number one, rescheduling is definitely bullish, but not for the reason most people think. It's not about flipping a switch on banking overnight. It's about improving fundamentals, better margins, better balance sheets, and also better sustainability. Now let's look at number two. Banking will open gradually, but not suddenly. Think more institutions stepping in over time, not a flood of capital all at once. And also number three, the real unlock still comes down to policy, either updated regulatory guidance or federal legislation that gives banks the green light to fully participate. So if you're an investor watching this space right now, you need to separate hype from reality. And I know that's not easy for a lot of cannabis investors. Yes, this is a major step forward, but no, it doesn't solve everything immediately. And honestly, that's been the story of the cannabis space for the last decade. Yeah, I know. We know that. But this is progress, but never all at once. But hey, we'll take progress. So the bottom line, rescheduling definitely moves the industry forward. No question about it whatsoever. It improves cash flow and it also reduces stigma, which is a big thing, and it starts to shift institutional perception. But if you're waiting for that moment where cannabis banking suddenly looks like alcohol or pharma, well, to be honest, we're not there yet, but we're heading in that direction because we are getting closer. And closer right now, yes, it feels good, does it not? But we got to get that announcement and get that sign off from Attorney General Pam Bondi as we sit here and still wait. So that's it for our latest TDR Cannabis in 5. Give us your comments below. We'd love to keep this conversation going on how you're viewing this space right now, when it is finally signed off, and when cannabis finally gets rescheduled. How are you going to view the space? How are you preparing for it? Want to get your feedback. So again, let's keep this conversation going, and make sure to like, subscribe, and smash on that bell for all notifications and stay connected with us here at TDR. All right, brand new week, everyone. Let's see how things unfold. That's it for now. I'm your host, Shad Dales. I'll see you in the next video, and thanks again for watching your latest TDR Cannabis in 5 presented by FlowHub. Take care, everyone.
It's a reason why it never happened. I don't know what the reason is, but I stopped fucking with it. When I hear a no, I start thinking about what I'm getting protected from. Maybe something wasn't gonna go right if I did it. Like niggas in jail, right? Got 20 years. Well, maybe God's saving your fucking life, literally, giving you a chance to get back out and you still living. Because you would have died one of them days you was free. So I swear, I just look at that, like God keeps telling me, no, I'm going to take that as you saving me from something.
That's definitely a good way to look at it, especially when you have a good understanding of what your God is doing for you.
Hey man, it's me, Kevin Smith. Welcome to the Grow Tent, everybody. You have found the best growing channel on YouTube, man. The place where we simplify the approach for you so everyone can learn how to grow. We make it so simple, even I can understand. So I'm going to listen and learn right now.
Woo! What's going on?
I love this guy.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Grow Tent. We've got a great episode for today. Today, we're going to talk about all things pollen. So, whether you want it or you didn't want it in your garden, we're going to take it, talk about what it looks like, where it comes from, how long it's viable or how long it lasts, and the best ways to clean it up after you get it, whether you wanted it or not. So today, that's what we're talking about, all things pollen on today's episode. But first, please remember to like, comment, subscribe, watch a full video, all that fun stuff. Helps out the channel a ton. And if you want to hang out with me more, you can head over to WTTGT and do just that. All right? It's really good time coming up next month. Next month, as everybody knows, is 420. Be a really good time to join before then. All right? Let's get today's episode started. Woo! What is up, everybody? That was kind of weak one. Woo! What's up, everybody? That's better. Yeah, so today, as we said in the intro, today we are talking about all things pollen. For most of you, pollen is not something you ever want in your garden. I get it. But it does happen to us from time to time, and the parts of the episode that you guys would probably be concentrating on today is, where is the pollen coming from, and what after you've had pollen in your garden, what can you do to clean it up to make sure it doesn't mess with your next garden, or how long is it still viable for from garden to garden, or if you had multiple tents, will it spread from one tent to the next? So today we're going to talk about all that kind of stuff. But pollen is just the male reproductive part of the male cannabis plants, and it, through the either air movement or bees, gets pollinated over onto the female pistil hairs, and then it makes seeds or the babies. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. That was loud. So pollen is generally like a whitish, yellowish color, mainly more towards the yellowish color. It looks like dust, It looks like sawdust, I would say, like very fine, like sandish looking. It looks like yellow flour. There, that's about the best way you can describe it. It looks like yellow flour that's been dusted on your leaves. And if you see that and you weren't aiming for it, it's not a good sign. All right, and we're back. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but every time I start trying to record, the phone rings. What are you going to do? Okay, so how long does pollen last? And this is where I'm going to throw a little wrench into the plants here also is,
but you get what
I found
saying.
a new way to store the pollen that literally takes zero effort except space. So it does take up space, but it takes up zero effort. And we actually had really, really good results with it. So we're going to talk about that here in a little bit. So let me put this up. I'm going to put this on screen. Computer, on screen. So generally, your cannabis pollen, once it's left the plant, it's good for about 2 to 3 days, especially if you have light, like your garden light turning on and off. That light is actually very detrimental to the pollen. So if you ever had a pollination, just leave your light on in that tent after you pulled all your stuff out. You'll kill a lot of the pollen in there after just a few days. On the flip side, we're going to talk about cleaning up pollen later on, just because we don't want it in the tent anyway. But you can see in the natural, uncontrolled conditions, you're doing no interventions with it. Once it's left to kind of like dusted off the plant, generally it's only good for about 2 to 3 days with a maximum of up to about 2 weeks. Now, if you have taken it a step further, you've collected your pollen, you've pulled all the plant material out of it. That's a big thing is like when you collect your pollen, you don't want any plant material in there because the material will mold. That mold will spread across the pollen and it'll destroy all of it. So you've collected your pollen, you've thrown a little bit of flour or whatever in there to kind of pull the moisture out. Moisture is a huge thing that destroys pollen, which really helps when we're trying to clean it. And then you put it in the refrigerator. It says it will last about 3 to 6 months. I'm going to go towards the lower end of that and put it into the 3-month category. And then this one where it's talking about it in the freezer right here below, where it's airtight, you've taken you've demoisturized it, all this kind of stuff, and then you put it in the freezer. It says it can last for 1 to 5 years. I have never had any luck with this. Not a single time. I've tried this a bunch of different times. Airtight containers. We've had it mixed in with a 50-50 ratio with flour. Everything's been dried out perfectly. I have never had any success with keeping it over a year in a freezer. Something about it, we've never been able to really perfect getting 100% of the moisture out. And if there's moisture in it, it is going to destroy the pollen whenever you freeze it, because whenever it freezes, the water destroys the pollen. And we've never had good luck with it, no matter how many times we tried. Maybe it's just me. Maybe you guys have had some good luck with freezing it. I have never had any luck with freezing it and trying to use the pollen over a year. It's never been viable, not a single time. I've tried it probably almost 10 times. And I've never got it to be viable for after a year of being in the freezer. But maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. But I've tried it a bunch of different ways, have never had success with it. The biggest enemies to your pollen is moisture, temperature, and the cold temperature slows the degeneration. Air exposure, oxygen actually causes rapid deterioration to the pollen, and then the age of the plant whenever you collected the pollen. So if you're collecting the pollen right when it's supposed to be collected, like mid-range of flower, that pollen actually lasts and stays viable way longer. If you were doing it through your rodentization process where you collected pollen way at the end of flowers, let's say you were trying to get it to do that and you kept them out to week 12, week 13 of flower where they'll naturally produce feminized pollen, that pollen does not last very long at all because of the age of the plant. And it just kind of makes sense. The plant was old when it made it. The pollen is old whenever it comes out. All right, so those are. Everyone's talking. Everyone's talking downstairs. We'll give them a minute. See, that's the two little ones. They're discussing something. They like to get loud whenever.
Beat after beat. Good to see you. How you doing?
I think they're quieting down now. Yep. They're talking about Dandy's World. I think that's a game on Roblox or something. All right. So, but today I also want to talk about. So these are those are kind of the normal ways, like the normal lifespan of how long the pollen will last, and then kind of like the factors that affect the pollen. But I want to talk about a new way. That I found, and it was a way I kind of wanted to test out. Hey, bud. Thanks, bro. We're not cutting all these out today. This is what I deal with. This is what, part of being a dad and trying to record YouTube videos is you gotta have noise. So today I want to talk about.
And you tell everybody else to remember, hey, if you want me to pay your bills, shut the fuck up when I'm recording.
A lot of you guys don't like messing with. You don't like pollen, so I'm going to talk about how to clean it up.
Yeah, if you want me to pay your bills, you better remember when I'm trying to make my money, you better not be in my way.
So generally, if you get your whole garden pollinated, and you weren't trying to, like you hermed your stuff, and there was pollen released in there, generally, like, GT, I don't want to clean it up. Generally, if you just wait a month, and whenever I do that wait a month, I'll leave the light on. You spray the whole tent down with water. Water will destroy the pollen. The light destroys the pollen. Generally, give it about 3 to 4 weeks, and that pollen is inactive. We're like, well, GT, I don't want to not use my one tent for 3 or 4 weeks. Well, it's only bad if you have plants that are already in flower. So if this was your flower tent that did this, and you had a veg tent and you moved them directly in there after you chop those down, bad, probably going to get pollinated. On the other hand, if you only had the one tent and it got pollinated flower, well, I mean, you've got your 3 to 4 weeks of seedling, you've got your 4 to however many weeks of veg, and before you went into flower, so that pollen would already naturally deactivate by the time you did that. Where you really have to worry is if you had a dedicated flower tent, you chop one set of flowers down, and you immediately had more flowers, more plants to go into flower to go right in there. By the time they started developing pistil hairs, that pollen would still be active, or could, some of it could still be active, which would cause your new garden to seed also, even if you didn't do anything wrong. So you would definitely want to clean your tent in between there. You should be doing that anyway. Cleanliness in between gardens will save you a lot of headache, even though no one wants to clean. No, I mean, I like to clean it up, but no one wants to do it. So just make sure you do that. But I also wanted to talk to you today about a new method I found for storing it. And it was storing it, and all it does is take up space. So I actually, this time I decided, let's see how long, because I knew I was going to make this video about pollen. I was like, let's see how long if we just leave the plants in there. We're not watering them. We just let them dry out. They literally, I mean, you can flick them and like the fan leaves turn to dust. They've been in there for 3 months, not watered, no light on. That's a big thing. You have to turn the light off. No tower fans or nothing, because you can't have the tower fans blowing around because they'll dust all the pollen off of the super dried leaves or the super dry buds. So, but you can like flick the plants, and they just go and they turn to dust. They just yellow pollen everywhere. So I wanted to see, I'm like, how long can I leave this in here in the plant, leave the plant pollen in the plant, and how long can it be active? We left it in there for 3 months. And I tell you what, I'll put a picture up on Instagram probably tomorrow and show you what these plants look like. Because, I mean, just imagine if the plants they're still in the pot, they haven't been watered in 3 months, they've had no light in 3 months, and there's no air movement. They're shriveled up, dried. You ever take have like girlfriends or whatever, they dry roses out and they like put them in books and stuff, but if you touch them, they just crumble to dust. That's what these plants are like. They've had no light, no water, no nothing. They've just been in there dead for 3 months, and I just want to see how long the pollen could stay active if I left it in the plant. And I took that pollen, which was I took that pollen as a Gorilla Glue number 4, which, if you guys don't know, one of the things we're going to be doing after the ban goes into effect is I am going to be taking Gorilla Glue number 4, and I am going to be stabilizing it so that the Gorilla Glue number 4 that we all know and love that always herms, we're actually going to be stabilizing that to where it doesn't herm anymore. The bad part is I won't be able to send it to you, but you can watch me.
Now, the good thing about when things are slow beat after beat, that's letting you double down on things you actually know you need to get ahead on, right? Right. See? It's not slow. Here's that opportunity for you to do more because you've got the time. Yeah, there's plenty of time to get things done. Yeah, that's the good thing about having shit to do. A beat after beat, that gives you more time to do other shit. Hell, if you think one thing's going slow, invest the time in something else. Just remember, go live. when you're working, because that way you ain't got to worry about recording video. You already have videos, and then you can just hire an editor because, at some point they'll take off and you'll be getting billions of views, and then you can hire an editor to make the video better for what you want it to represent, right? Yeah, let's get to those type of problems. That's what we thinking about too. Hell, appreciate you for saying that. Views been low for me for a couple months, but I'm glad because, like I said, I just been doubling down on what I was already gonna do. Just go ahead and do more of it. Yeah, I'll do more shorts because guess what? I figured out an easier way for me to get shorts. That hey, the only thing I got to do is make sure it goes public whenever I want it to be public. Easy videos, lay them up.
You can watch me make it. So we have that Gorilla Glue number 4 pollen, and we took it and I put it on some, I think they were like 2.5 weeks in veg plants. So they were very small plants. I was like, let's just see if we take these off of here and we put it onto these 2.5-week-old veg plants, will we get seeds? And sure as fuck, after 3 months of that pollen being dead, now all conventional wisdom says this pollen should not be active. It should not have any viability after 90 freaking days of being in a dead plant. But when we took it and we sprinkled it all over the new plants, I mean, dust clouds of it it would just clip a bud off. I took it over to the 2x4 and went boom and just hit it one time. It was filled the whole plant, it filled the whole tent with pollen off one bud. I was like, all right, let's see if we get anything. Within, I think it was 4 or 5 days, all pistil hairs had
your
turned
health
from
is
white
what's
to
going to
orange.
make you stay around here, though, right?
The plant got pollinated because those pistil hairs generally
as long as you're taking care of the thing that's carrying your spirit, yes, you always want to invest more time into that.
Week 3 of flower at that point, everything.
So I said, hell, I try staying as physically active as I can, and then your body will respond to that.
Those plants are
eat good and stay moving, right?
I think
but then you got to remember, sometimes you also need to fast because that's what's wrong with your ass. Hell, when was the last time you fasted? What do you mean fasted? You got to go at least 3 days without eating sometimes.
The conclusion we have come to, if
once
the
every
pollen
couple
stays
months.
in the plant has had no water, the plant has had no light, there is no air movement to dust the pollen out of there.
When your body stops digesting, it starts working on self-improvement, meaning
3 months, the pollen is still
it'll fix itself naturally because that's what it does.
100%
it's a body.
active and 100% viable.
Well, you have me in a constant state where I'm digesting. Digesting means I'm not healing because, once I stop digesting and then all things are just, hey, you got water, you'll use said water to move things around in the body, and the body will fix itself because that's what the body does. How you can naturally breathe without you breathing.
Still viable.
But you talking, that's when you got to watch when you're breathing.
All right, so that is a huge deal because I've never heard anybody talk about any of that. We just kind of mess with it.
I get you can't fast, you're diabetic, but at the same time, that's one of those things of the exercise deal.
We're going to keep seeing how
long. That's why they remind you got to stay physically active because then your body will respond to you moving, which will be better if your health.
So far, we've done it 3 months.
People that get diabetes, they have low activity sometimes. Might be stuck sitting behind a desk editing videos.
But these plants are
when you could have just went live
so
talking shit in the field.
It's just a 2x4 tent. I probably only get about
putting shit on the shelf at the fucking record store, right?
1,000 seeds out of this tent, so it won't be very many. Be enough for me.
But that's why I said you got to tailor that type of information to you, because once you get back in shape, you know what they say fixes most people diabetes. Well, I actually got back in good shape and healthy. Yeah, so watch some of the Jay Jordan workout videos. Make sure you're doing some backs and legs. Do buff if you want to be. Because hell, ain't nothing wrong with going from, well, I used to not care it, now I just want to be buff. Me getting buff got me to get rid of diabetes, which means I can start fasting and living a healthier lifestyle. Because you plan on being here like 95 to 115, right?
A month and a half, probably another 6
I'm just saying, 95 to 115, right? You could be that old man that ain't never fucking quit. Guess what happened? I just kept getting better. Started learning from Popcorn. He gave me a free consultation while he was making videos.
Helps kill all the pollen in there. All right, I hope this was entertaining, at least
so people mad in the background like he talking shit to beat after beat. But hell, beat after beat the big homie.
And I thought it was school because I never heard anybody talk about
get all his consultations live.
See for myself.
He'll show up to do it.
Turns out, after 3 months, it's still really viable, and we're going to see how long it goes. It does take up one of my
definitely invest more into
I just want to be a neat little fun experiment.
whatever you can do at the house as far as exercises, because that'll be beneficial too. Because you ain't got to go to a gym. Now you can just do some push-ups, sit-ups at home, walk around a little bit extra, right? Get you one of them step counters. Then whenever you're like, damn, I did do all my steps today, that's good. That means you're in a healthy pace for moving. Hell, most people don't do their steps. What happened? I took 40 steps today. 40 steps, nigga?
Everybody in New York was calling to get down.
How you only take 40 steps in a day, nigga? That means your ass is bedbound.
Like this guy here. He's what we call an enhancement smoker. Because he thinks that marijuana.
Yeah, I'll tell you. Are you bedbound? Why? How many steps you getting in a day? If you ain't getting your step counter, that's the first time right there. You're not healthy.
I love Al Pacino, man. You ever see Son of a Woman?
Yup.
You ever seen Son of a Woman on weed? That's the way to see it, man. It's just wow. $60, yo. Cool, man. I got it. Did you ever see the back of a $20 bill, man? No, I don't know, yo. Did you ever see the back of a $20 bill? On weed? Oh, there's some weird shit in there, man. There's a dude sitting in the bushes, man. Does he have a gun? I don't know, man. I don't know. What? Red team go. Red team go. It's just some weird shit, man. Crazy, yo. Oh, it's cool. Thanks, man. Hey, yo, wait. Dude, I'm going to check out the stars later. It's really trippy. Especially on weed, man.
I think that's really cool too when you look at the availability to find something that you like and blend it into another thing to make a whole new creation. We should definitely, Statures, let us know if I'm onto something. We should definitely do an episode about the most hard hitting or the best effects flower that we've had over the years.
Yeah,
because that's something that there's been some that I didn't maybe love the terps, but the effect was right there for me. You know.
There you go.
Oh, my cinnamon stick.
Cinnamon sticks. The incense are getting a little thick in here. One that I want to share with me, One I want to share with me. You guys, plug your ears. This is kind of opened my eyes when I kind of learned after consuming this why Girl Scout cookies is in everything. I had a cut of Thin Mints, or I didn't have a cut. I actually just got to consume it. And the Thin Mints was so... I expected like a mint. I expected...
The name, yeah.
Yeah, I expected some real sweet kind of aroma. In fact, it was the exact opposite. It was a funky, strong, like a... I wouldn't say it had much of a kush smell to it, like that pepper. But yeah, but it's like, it was so good, man. And it just made me think, this is why... Girl Scout cookies is in everything. It's in everything, it seems. And it's like, and it makes perfect sense as to why it's in most of the things I enjoy. Girl Scout GMO included. GMO being a cross between Girl Scout cookies and ChemDog. So it's like, man, Thin Mints for me is a hit. It's like, if I could get that one and I was stuck on an island or in this bunker for life or a few decades, I would make sure I had that one for sure. Crowd pleaser every time.
It is. Yes, it is. I just want to make sure. Sin Mint cookie is one that I had too, and I think that was Sin City Seeds. That was fire. It was, yeah, Sin Mint cookie from Sin City Seeds. That one was a really good one because it had a doughy, gassy, peppery, like a sweet, the whole complex flavor of it, where it was like each hit you'd get a different expression. You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes right towards the end, when it's really resiny at the end of a J or a Blunsky, it would have a whole new complex flavor that make you say, "Damn." Bring it right back one more time. Let's reanalyze, because you couldn't really put a note on it, man. That was the thing about Girl Scout cookies. I feel any variation of it, crosses, cuts, it was just very distinct, very hit. And that's why the popularity was so there, you know? I kind of missed that one, man. I forgot about that.
Banger.
Banger. I want to grow some mints. I've got some Larry Bird mints. I don't know if that's in that family at all, but I want to grow some of that.
I had a mince meat that was pretty decent too.
Mince meat?
Yeah. There's a lot of different ones.
Mince pie.
Yeah, mince pie. There's ones that you get that the main parent shines, and that the Girl Scout cookie, with Thin Mint cookie, with Sin Mint, it's always had the Girl Scout in there. I was like, ooh. And it was always a slightly better expression. Maybe not better, but a more unique, diverse expression that made me want to go back, though, to Girl Scout cookies.
100%. The next one I have up is one you guys have heard before on the channel, but I have to mention, I can't go this episode without mentioning it, which is the Curb Stomper by Prism Labs. And this one, you're not going to be able to really find it anymore, unfortunately. I mean, I do have some. I'm considering preserving them, so I'm considering growing them out and potentially making, a batch of seeds and just preserving them, because the breeder seems to have, I don't know if he fell off the map. I don't know what happened to him. He just kind of dropped off. Chris Chronic, formerly of North Genetics.
Sure.
And so he had Prism Labs. He went off and left North Genetics and did his own thing with Prism Labs, and he had a successful line. He had several different things on there, but the Curb Stomper is the one that really stuck out the most for me. And I do have notes on the lineage. ISO 8 crossed with Deadhead OG. I don't know much about the parents there on that avenue. Actually, I do know ISO 8's parents are Strawberry Cough crossed with Mimosa. So if we're going back even more and more, some of the characteristics might come out there. But as far as the taste, which is what this episode is all about, right? Yeah. It had the best way I can explain it, and Rob does a way better job than me, is a floral funk. Like the funkiness that happens. Deep. It's so deep, right? Yeah. It's so hard to really grasp and characterize and explain what it really is, because when you take that inhale, you immediately are like, oh, well, is this gross, or is it, no, this is good. This is, wait, what is it? And you hit it again. You're like, man, it's like a floral funk. Like, it's not bad. It's just different. And it's like exciting. It's so unique. I think that's one of the things that makes it real good. Now you got to, of course, like the funk, right? If you don't like the funky genetics, if you don't like that funky taste or even the floral taste, this one's probably not for you. But if you're looking for something super unique, different, you do like the floral, you do like the funk, that one's for you. And as far as growing, it was pretty freaking easy, in my opinion. I did have it scrogged out and stuff, and it was kind of like, I won't say leggy, but it was one of the ones with longer internodes.
Yeah, for sure.
Golf ball buds kind of on each part, at the nodes and up top and stuff like that. Chunkiness, dense, colorful during senescence. Beautiful, beautiful plant. Not the highest yielder. I think, I don't even remember what I got for a yield. It wasn't anything low, and it wasn't anything drastically high, so kind of right there in the middle there. But Curb Stomper is one of those things where, man, you'll probably hear me growing it out soon to try to preserve it, or potentially working into some sort of breeding projects in the future, because it's something I really enjoy, and I really did like the taste off of it.
Make you a chill stomper.
Chill Stomper.
That could be cool. That could be cool.
That would be good.
That one was, again, a very memorable one, man. We recently
how did you describe it?
That was literally, dude, it was like a floral, like almost sock, bad breath, deep, musky funk.
Yeah.
It was one that, like, again, you hit it. The first time hitting it, I almost thought there was something wrong with the rat. I was like, the fuck is that? And then I was like, oh, okay. I like those, like, I'm a nasty smoker. I like those kind of funks. So as soon as it had that almost unpleasant aroma to it, like if its initial floral sweet, then all of a sudden deep funk, bad breath, like a teacher's breath at school who was drinking coffee. You know what I'm saying? Like that. When I'm talking, you're like, okay, back up. Like it was similar to that, but then it translated to this like deep, musky floral funk with a basement muskiness. I don't know. I really liked it, man. It was one of my favorites.
Science Lab.
Science Lab. Yep. There's been some over the years before that, again, and most of the ones on my list I haven't like loved. They've just been crazy terpy. But one that slipped the cracks for me, unfortunately. I know Headbanger should be on my list. Headbanger's number one. Just I want to clear that up if you're a longtime viewer. Headbanger's number one. However, Lemon Skunk. We talked about, funny enough, you both have talked about ones in other videos, and this one too, Lemon Skunk. We've mentioned how iconic this one was for us in the past, dude. And it was such a strong, obnoxious terp that when you go into the store and you had just a little bit with you, everyone whips their head back at you. Everybody's like, Jesus Christ, who is that? Someone smells loud. And you're like, oh my God. Keep it quiet, because it's got the properties of the skunky, funky dank, but it has this like sharp zinger lemon that you cannot get away from that was just so unique to it. And the only reason I got rid of it was the grass is green on the other side. I think I'm going to go get a more popular name. People don't care about lemon skunk. I need Granddaddy Perp. I need White Widow, you know? And as I was doing that, I ended up losing it. And now looking back, dude, it was so unique. It was a conversation piece strain. Literally, you pull that out, people were like, oh, wow. What? Like, it was always that reaction.
I grew up the lemon skunk, and the flavor I got off that, I remember it was like a limoncello or like a lemon shaved ice. Like that, it was like that strongness of a lemon flavor from it is what I got. Then the smell, the gassiness that kind of came, the skunkiness that came from it was super apparent on the one I grew as well.
Yeah, it was obnoxious, and for me, it was so good that I would usually keep that for myself in the caregiver days. It didn't seemingly have as much of the medicinal properties for a lot of the people that I was caregiving for, other than those who wanted to get lit. And it was one of those goofy, laughing, eat a bunch of food, like pig out, literally sit in front of the fridge and just eat every different sweet thing that I have type of munchy food, or munchy bud. And for that reason, I had to like limit my intake in the daytime. Because your boy was getting thick cheeked, dude. So I had to relax.
And plus, the camera adds like what, 5-10 pounds.
That's true. Last time I was in Canada, a whole series here where I was sitting funny. It was a different couch. For that couch, we threw it out because of that. Because people thought I looked thick. We said, "Get it out of here," and I got rid of it. I want to mention one too that, like, just as we finish up, one we obviously have very similar palates, and I want to mention one that I don't even like. That I think it's the tastiest, one of the tastiest genetics, and I don't like it. That's Critical Hog. It's like an Agent Orange. It's like that very, very heavy orange flavor. Critical Hog for me, I know I've mentioned this before because it was my very first successful harvest. It's a Critical Mass crossed with The Hog by TH Seeds, and man, the orange flavor, it's just a solid orange. Just boom. And it is so overwhelming. And I know that there's a lot of people out there that enjoy that flavor. Shout out to Chad Westport. I know that part of his no joke, which let me put that on the list, was very tasty. It was very potent with that orange flavor. And man, if that's something that speaks to anybody, that's one. A Critical Hog is one that you're going to want to get your hands on because it has the potential to have a lot of orange. That even goes for our own pheno for that matter.
That'd be more lemon though.
The lemon, I was just gonna say the frosted lemonade has a lot of that citrusy taste to it. Not necessarily that orange, but the citrus taste to it.
This FTS clip was brought to you by AC Infinity, leaders in garden innovation. Use discount code TheStash15 at checkout to save some money on your order.
From the Stash Podcast.
You know, go check out their podcast, catch it when they drop it, or you can wait and watch it with me. Either way, you know, we're going to watch it.
Mr. Nice Guy was blowing up, man. We got customers from all over New York. We even stole a few from Samson.
Oh, what's up, nigga? Come on in, man. Come on, wait, man. Thanks, baby. You know, beat it over your skin. Yeah. What can I get you today, Smoke a Lot? Lovely. Let me get a pound of your Swedish cheese.
Yeah, someone told me to bring a lot of weed, man. Yeah. Pound of my Swedish Chiba. Don't get no better than that.
Now get the bag, baby.
That's gonna be $9,600, bro.
See what I got here. Come on, man. Hang out for a minute, smoke with me. I got weed, got my bong out. Come on, son.
For you, man. I'll stay for a minute, but then I gotta be going.
I understand.
Man, Smoke a Lot opened up to me like I was Barbara Walters. It was ridiculous. He told me about his lawyer.
He had sex with my mama. Why?
Spirituality.
God, if you let it hell.
His bad back.
Doctor said I need a backiotomy.
His love life?
I'm in with it, man. Get away from me, bitch.
I mean, talk about a guy with problems.
Tough break. I can't take it no more.
No wonder he smoked a pound a week.
Somebody run.
So now we had a famous clientele, and
Green Eye's gonna miss you.
and guess what else?
Call me next week.
About weed. About weed.
Hey guys, 420 Scene here, or Rad Scene, depending on how you found me, back with another video. Be sure to join our free Discord. Follow and subscribe to us over on Twitch at Rad Scene so we can hang out in the afternoons. We go live Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern. We got giveaways, smoke sessions, Arc Raider live streams with good music, and we just like having fun, just hanging out, chilling, vibing, all that good stuff. We got a lot of people on the channel already hanging out with me in the afternoon. So again, we go live Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern. So a couple of days ago, I was scrolling through my YouTube feed, and I saw my boy Rob from CLTV post a video on his favorite breeders. So I figured, you know what, I would make a video on my favorite breeders based on my, different runs, my experiences that I've done over the years. So definitely going to be giving the boys over at CLTV some credit, since they definitely inspired me to do this video. Real quick, before we get started with today's video, I have a 20%.
So when they say you can't get paid for watching videos, this guy literally said, oh, well, I saw Rob from CLTV do it, so I made a video about the same thing. That's the good thing about videos, because you can make videos about the same thing other people are doing. Hell, you could even give him the shout out. He gave the shout out. Hell, I just reviewed some of Rob's content, so therefore that lets you know what they're doing in the business. Hey, that sounds like good business.
Discount code off Magic Mind, or 45% off if you sign up for their subscription. This stuff right over here. I don't know if you've ever seen Magic Mind before, but I'm telling you, this stuff is good. Listen, I never recommend any products that I have not tried myself or enjoy using myself. If you've never heard of it before, Magic Mind is an organic mental performance shot with lion's mane and bacopa mushrooms. I drink this like every day, usually right before I start my Twitch streams or before a recording session. This stuff works really good, and it's not like the gas station energy shot crap. I mean, this is organic. It's good for your body, keeps you sharp. It helps with brain fog, procrastination, helps that classic 2 o'clock mental fatigue. So pretty much all you got to do, right? You get this bottle, you just shake it up. I'll literally drink it right in front of you guys. I will drink it right in front of you guys right now. All right, this should be good enough. This is good stuff, I'm telling you right now. I feel it almost instantaneously. It tastes really good too, honestly. If you want to grab yourself some Magic Mind, I got the discount code in the description and at the pinned comment down below. The discount code is for 20% off, but if you sign up for the subscription, you get like 45 to 50% off. Now, if there's something you guys most likely know about me already, is that I don't care what breeders are considered socially acceptable within the community or the realm, or who's popular in all the different forums out there. I don't care about any of that crap. If you've been watching me long enough, you just already know. I don't care about that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to give it to you straight. This is based off of my personal experiences. So if there's any breeders that you think should have made this list that didn't, I most likely did not run them or had enough experience with them. So just a heads up on that. I am not one of those guys that like to talk about something that I don't know what I'm talking about. Having said that, let's start off with number 5, and that's going to be Ethos Genetics. So when I started doing this so many years ago, I started with ILGM like everybody else who started over 10 years ago.
Rumble also,
Listen, guys, this is back when they had the old website, and they always had a user-friendly website, always promoted how great they were for beginners. So I kind of stuck with them for many years. Now, the reason that I'm mentioning this is Ethos was the brand that a lot of people recommended to me at the time. So they were the company that broke me away from ILGM, to be honest with you. And I know they have a lot of fucked up legal issues, and if you don't know about them, look them up. You're going to absolutely see for yourselves. But I'm strictly talking about the beans, the product. The whole point of this whole video. Their flowers just look super nice on the website, and I wanted to try them for myself. And that's when I started with their Mandarin Cookies V2. I was just always a big fan of the cookie strain ever since I tried Girl Scout cookies, and just everything just kind of spiraled from there. So I figured, you know what? I'm going to give these Mandarin Cookies V2 a shot. And let me tell you something. It was some of the tastiest flowers that I've ever had before. And then I tried a whole bunch of other strains, and I had a lot of success with them. So that's why I'm putting Ethos on this list. Ethos beans, they are pretty affordable, and they have a pretty decent germination success rate and not really too many issues. But I would recommend Ethos if you have a few runs under your belt already. Number 4, Phylos Bioscience. I know people are going to say something negative already, but you know what? I don't give a shit, because I've had nothing but success running their beans. And like I said, I'm going to give it to you straight. The most impressive thing about Phylos is their germination. Like, that is the one thing that, I mean, out of everything about Phylos, that just straight up sticks out. Now, you guys remember the cheddar cheese. I have photos of that on Instagram. It's literally just 420.c, and I'm going to have that link. Not the link, but I'm going to have my handle right down below. So I remember running a whole bunch of extra beans because of all the crap that I heard about them, thinking, you know, not a lot of the beans were going to pop. So let's just say that I got humbled because of more beans.
Well, Six Bells, you already know I'm one of those types that are information based. Yeah, what I can do with information is phenomenal, because you know that. So therefore, that's why you always see me trying to pick up some more information. Let me see what everybody else doing. Oh yeah, I can put that in a playlist, and then I can review it with my audience and people that want to come by and network with me. Because, you know, shouts out to Big Me in the building. That's the good thing about being consistent. Like I tell people, well, hell, if it's for what you're gonna do, hey, you better be ready to do it, right? Well, you know, hell, you sat back and watched shit with popcorn for years, and then the next thing you knew, you had a gang of information. And then every time you talk to him, he's like, "Yeah, I done did this, I done did that, I didn't blah 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 blah." Well, hold on, you doing what? Yeah, I make $1 billion a year sitting on my ass at home. Damn. Well, I mean, they said it was possible. I just did the numbers and figured out how I should win, right? That's what you got to tell them. That's what you got to tell them.
Pop than I expected. And not only that, but the taproot after 48 hours was just so freaking long that you could start to see the green where the white color of the taproot separates, and you know where it changes, and the growth was just insane. I'm gonna have a picture on screen of that run, and this is the final picture that I took before I harvested. Now, this was about 2 years ago that I ran the cheddar cheese. After I harvested, the cheddar cheese tasted so damn good that I still remember the taste of it. It had a really exotic flavor profile, like mangoes, but just really fruity. I think when I was making the grow vlogs 2 years ago, I described the smell as just very dank, like whatever he's gonna be doing, just record. I never had. Listen, I never had any issues with Phylos. I've heard people say that they white label, but I can't confirm or deny that. But if you're looking for flowers that are tasty and insanely strong, I recommend Phylos. At least give the cheddar cheese a try. Number 3, Dynafem. I've ran a bunch of their stuff over the years, and they're like the tried and true breeder. So if you're looking to play it safe, or you're worried that your beans are not going to pop, or you're not going to have a good yield, or you're just looking for strains that are easy to grow without any kind of hiccups along the way, Dynafem is like the old reliable. All right, they've been around since 2003, and they did recently close down, but they ended up becoming Silent Seeds. So if you ever see a brand called Silent Seeds, that's literally Dynafem under a different name. I know they had some kind of legal issues also, but I'm strictly talking about the quality of the beans. Number 2, the Cali Connection. I ran their original Sour D, and I can tell you that it was the closest to the actual original Sour D that I've ever had before, and I can't confirm or deny that they kept cloning the original Sour D from the OG 90s who won the cup multiple years, but like I said, it came the closest to the original cut. The germination rate is about average, but when you get some good beans popping, you hit a home run. Cali Connection has been around for almost 20 years, I think almost 20 years, and they won top 3 in 42 different tournaments at the High Times Medical Cups and High Times Amsterdam tournaments. So if you're looking for a breeder that's been globally recognized as one of the best breeders with many different awards to back them up, telling you right now, Cali Connection is where it's at. Okay, so before I tell you number 1, I am a little bit biased, okay? Okay. Actually, I may have maybe I should have put the Cali Connection as number one, but I'm going to put number one as Elite Cut Genetics. Again, I may be a little bit biased here because I am friends with Josh, but he's an excellent breeder based out of Chicago, and he's a hardworking breeder who cares about the craft. He's not like this big company that's been doing this for, 20 years. He's just a local guy from Chicago. Guys like Josh are the future of the industry, and you want guys like Josh that are going to be hardworking breeders that don't take shortcuts, but because I don't even have to tell you any companies. You already know there are brands out there, where they're just kind of cutting corners. I'm not throwing anybody under the bus. But like I said, you want guys like Josh in the industry for years to come, decades to come. I'm going to say Elite Cut Genetics has pretty solid germination rates, maybe like 80 to 90% success rate. Josh is always working on new strains. And if you guys remember the Black Cherry Bliss from last summer, again, I have some nice pictures I have a lot of pictures of the Black Cherry Bliss over on my Instagram, so be sure to check that out. And if you want to see some interviews, Josh did have a session with Mr. Grow It. Shout out to you, Chris. You're still my homie. From the runs that I did with Elite Cut Genetics, I never really ran into any issues as far as the plants being finicky. So as long as you give them the right amount of nutrition, which you shouldn't have a problem if you're following my Super Soil recipe or my Organic Grow Guide mini-series, which we will keep working on the mini-series. I know we didn't get to the flowering stage yet. I think that might actually be my next video, so stay tuned on that. But again, you shouldn't have any issues with deficiencies or slow growth if you're running my recipe. So his beans run like clockwork. All right. He also throws in a few extra freebies. So if you do plan on ordering from Josh, let him know. I think they got like a spot where you make it, when you place an order on their note, just say, 420 Scene sent you, and he'll definitely hook you up. So guys, those are my top 5 breeders that I've had the best experiences with. And listen, there are other big name brands that I did not mention in this video, and that's not throwing them any shade. I just either haven't heard of them, I don't have enough experience with them to put them on the list, but that's not to say that they're bad. It's not like they're bad or anything, you know what I mean? I just can't put my name on something that I haven't had experience with, which you of all people should understand, right? I know a lot of you guys love In-House and Humboldt, but honestly, I haven't run enough of their stuff. Their stuff looks fire, though. I'm going to tell you that right now. They look super fire. So having said that, before I do close off today's video, be sure to join our Discord and follow us over on Twitch at Radscene so we could chill out in the afternoons. And to everyone else, be sure to smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell. Also, don't forget, guys, you get 20% off Magic Mind, 45% off if you sign up with the subscription. It's really good. I would not recommend anything that I would not try out for myself. And I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you over on Twitch. All right, we're going to be streaming this afternoon, and as always, stay safe. Peace, guys.
Hope you don't mind. We made some tea. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm the bloke you're stealing from. The name's Alistair Rigby, but as far as you're concerned, I'm Willy fucking Wonka, and you're taking a shit in my fucking chocolate factory. Easy, boss. Don't get upset. When I have to go to the dentist, I'm upset. When Liverpool beats Arsenal, I'm upset. But when some little shit decides to take over one of the most profitable territories in the country, I'm beyond fucking upset. I'm very fucking upset. So, from now on, you're under new management. You will work for me, but in return, you'll receive an allowance.
Allowance?
Yes, allowance. As in, I'm allowing you to keep 10%, and I'm allowing you to keep drawing breath on this earth. Now, you either get down or you lay down. What's it gonna be, sunshine?
This wasn't no movie. The smart thing was to say yes, get up, and leave the room. But then I thought to myself, what if this was a movie? Look, fuck you, fuck the plane you flew in on, fuck them shoes, fuck those socks with the bell on it, fuck your gay-ass fairy faggot accent, fuck them cheap-ass cigars, fuck your yuck-mouth teeth, fuck your hairpiece, fuck your chocolate, fuck Guy Ritchie, fuck Prince William, fuck the Queen. This is America. My president is black and my Lambo is blue, nigga. Now get the fuck out of my hotel room. And if I see you in the street, I'm slapping the shit out of you.
I think this one spent too much time in the cinema. Teach this cheeky bastard a lesson.
Nobody fucking move!
Oh, man, this is bad.
What is this? A casting call for the Sopranos reunion? Do me a favour. Tell room service nobody here ordered the extra large whop with a side order of whops.
Whoa!
Hey, fundraising with Riley, right? Shouts out to working with the homies.
At midnight, a ban
like
on intoxicating hemp, which is usually found in beverages, is set to take effect in Ohio.
That's right. As Brady Williams reports, local retailers were hopping a last-minute lawsuit might halt that ban. Hey, Brady.
Yeah, so that lawsuit was actually shot down by a judge in Franklin County not too long ago here. So unless the Ohio Supreme Court stepped in, this is going to go through, and it's not likely that the court is going to do that, despite several lawsuits still being in the works here. For the folks who sell these products, they say there are hundreds of different things that they have been selling for years now that people simply won't be able to get.
There's a lot of those products out there that a lot of people want to remain where they currently are.
E.R. Beach wants to continue selling all of his hemp products.
They try to ban it. That never works.
He's been running hemptations for decades, but in 2018, new products were legalized under the U.S. Department of Agriculture Farm Bill. Effective Friday, Senate Bill 56 makes the sale of, quote, intoxicating hemp products illegal in Ohio, unless you're a licensed cannabis seller.
I still have questions. A, what's the definition of intoxicating hemp? What is actually banned?
While defenders of the new law say that it provides regulation and prevents sales to children, Beach says it's overreach.
In the state of Ohio, we go under the USDA guidelines for hemp, as far as hemp guidelines, which makes all these products federally legal.
2018, Ohio introduced similar laws for CBD products.
They went around and started pulling products in stores all over the state. I said that is not 100% not true. And I kept selling CBD. I never stopped selling CBD.
So you went ahead and kept selling CBD back then?
I did.
Tomorrow, the intoxicating hemp ban goes into place. What's the plan?
I don't, it's, I'm going to play it out and see how I feel.
A lawsuit that would have prevented the ban was thrown out by a judge on Thursday. Further lawsuits are making their way through the court system to try to reestablish legality.
The one thing they still haven't done is prove that any of this stuff is unsafe for us. From 1937 to current.
Regulation of these products is not exclusive to Ohio. There was some regulation that went in at the federal level back in November. Now, that has a year delay before that takes effect, so expect to see some similar restrictions going in place in Kentucky and Indiana in November of this year. Live with photojournalist Austin Brisky, Brady Williams, Fox 19 now. Hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome into our latest TDR Cannabis in 5, powered by FlowHub and their ice cold beverage, Bong Water. I am your host, Shad Dales. We finally got some details on something that's been quietly developing in Washington. It's the federal CBD pilot program tied to Medicare patients, and based on what was released, this is a lot more structure than people expected, which is good. At the same time, it also raises a pretty obvious question in all this. Why is the federal government rolling this out now while cannabis is still classified as a Schedule I drug? Could we be getting some news relatively sooner rather than later? Well, let's get into our latest TDR Cannabis in 5. But before we do that, a quick word from our sponsor, which is FlowHub. They are the retail platform behind some of the best dispensaries in America. So if you're an operator looking to scale, improve compliance, and streamline your entire retail experience, FlowHub gives you the tools to do it. From point of sale to inventory to real-time data, this is what top dispensaries are using to Stay ahead. If you want to learn more, book a demo today at flowhub.com. All right, let's get into today's podcast, and here is what we know now. According to new details released and reported by Marijuana Moment, the federal CBD pilot program is going to allow certain Medicare patients to receive up to $500 per year in cannabinoid products. All right, so now here is where things get important. These products must be hemp-derived, compliant with state laws, and orally administered, so think tinctures, capsules, and edibles. And yes, they also include small amounts of THC up to defined limits. But the real story here isn't just about product. It's the structure of how this is indeed being funded, because Medicare itself is not directly paying for this. So you might scratch your head and think, well, how? Well, instead, this program is being rolled out through ACO-style healthcare groups, organizations that take on financial risk and are incentivized to reduce total healthcare costs, because that's the real main objective in this pilot program. So what exactly does that mean? Well, this means these providers are only funding cannabinoid treatments if they believe it can reduce hospital visits, improve patient outcomes, and ultimately, as I said before, lower overall costs on the healthcare system. So this is not theory. This indeed is real-world implementation inside the U.S. healthcare system. So yeah, pat your back if you've come this far in the industry, because we're actually seeing some real change here. So the big question now, and this is where things get interesting, because while all this is happening, guess what? The obvious. Cannabis is still federally classified as a Schedule 1 drug. So really right now you've got a situation where the federal government is allowing cannabinoid use in a healthcare setting. They're defining dosage frameworks, they're structuring real patient access. Yet on the other side, and at the same time, legally treating cannabis as having no accepted medical use. And that is where the disconnect becomes harder to ignore. So does that imply that there could be something happening? Which now segues into our next topic, which is the timing. It doesn't add up, because here's what stands out. The program is expected to begin as early as next month, but as of right now, we still don't have a finalized rescheduling, no clear timeline from the DOJ, and no formal change to federal classification. So you have to ask yourself this: why move forward with something this structured, think about this, before fixing the underlying legal framework? Again, could we be getting some news sooner rather than later? Because is this a workaround, or is this the federal government quietly building the infrastructure ahead of a policy shift? So regardless of how you interpret it, this is what it means for investors moving forward. And if you're looking at this from a market perspective, here's what points out, because this might actually matter more than what people think. Because right now, this isn't a headline, it's not a political promise or a speculation. Instead, this is actual usage being introduced into a federally connected healthcare system, which is huge. And more importantly, it's being driven by economic incentives, not ideology. And providers are choosing to fund this because they believe it can save money. And that is a very different signal in all this. So looking at the big picture here, please keep this in mind and let's stay grounded in all this, because this is still right now a pilot program. It's capped at $500 per patient and in some ways limited in scope. So while it is indeed meaningful, it's not a full-scale rollout, at least not yet. So keep that in mind as well. So in closing here in our latest episode and taking a step back in all this indeed is one of the clearest examples that we have seen. And what do I mean by that? Well, it's pretty simple. We're seeing policy, healthcare, and economics starting to align, even if the legal framework hasn't caught up yet. And that's why all eyes right now are indeed on Washington, because if this is happening now, what comes next likely matters even more. Because I think I can speak on behalf of everybody watching this episode right now. I'm ready, and I'm sure you are too, for rescheduling. And the timing of all this, yeah, put two and two together. I think there's going to be an announcement sooner rather than later. Let's hope so. For now, we sit and we wait. Something common in this space. So that's it for our latest TDR Cannabis in 5. Let us know what you think of the CBD pilot program, the details they've outlined. Anything stand out to you? Leave your comments below and to keep the conversation going. As usual, as I always say, stay connected, like, subscribe, and smash on that bell for all notifications, and stay connected with us here at TDR. We're about to hit that 70,000 subscriber mark. That would be sweet. So if you haven't done so already, make sure to subscribe now. We want to get to 100,000. So share this video with your network and let's grow this space. We're the original OGs in all this, right? Because once rescheduling happens, we're going to attract a whole new audience and really interested in the cannabis space. And I look forward to that. I'm sure you do too. That's it for now. I'm your host, Shad Dales. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, everyone.
important is sleep. Oh, well, sleep, we need to stop really looking at the concept as sleep because we get a misunderstanding of what the whole process is. So it's really all about fasting. So yes, fasting is important because every time we go to sleep, every time we close our eyes, every time we shut the digestive system down, the body automatically goes into repair. So the more waste, the more toxins that are in the body, then the body needs more time to sleep. The less waste in the body, the less toxins you have to process, less time you need to sleep. So, if you want to live a longer life or at least have more time to live, then keep your body clean and, you won't have to go 8 hours into the body shop at night.
It reminds me of something
So
I
as more
said
and more
earlier
states
in the
legalize,
video,
we're
but
noticing a really concerning trend, and that is legalization does not equal full freedom. In fact, more and more it feels like legalization equal high taxes, increased regulations, and in some cases, even more drug busts at crazy places like daycare facilities and Girl Scout campgrounds. And now all of these new reports are leading doctors and news outlets to say that legalization was one of the worst decisions that society ever made.
41.3% of young males with cannabis-induced psychosis develop schizophrenia within 3 years. Weed itself is different, okay? It just is. It is not the same thing that our politicians and our doctors and our business owners and CEOs were smoking for fun with their friends on their college campus in the 80s and 90s. Dr. Joseph tweeted this: weed is driving an epidemic of psychosis and mania in young people. Most weed prior to the 2000s was less than 5% potency. Now, everything on the market is 25+% potency, with some concentrates over 90% THC. Most people still delude themselves into thinking that they are smoking the sub 5% weed from the 70s, but the current stuff is literally causing brain damage that looks like and eventually does manifest in schizophrenia. And I guarantee you, you know someone who is struggling with cannabis-induced psychosis that is going to manifest into full-blown schizophrenia if we are not dramatically honest with ourselves as a society right now that legalizing marijuana was one of the worst decisions we ever could have made as a society.
So those are the types of folks that are pushing this anti-herb messaging and are calling for legalization to be rolled back across America. It's absolutely mind-blowing. But what I found really interesting is that some of these folks have no experience with the good herb, but rather they're going on what they heard. And what she's going on right here, she heard from a doctor who said that most weed prior to the 2000s was less than 5% potency. Truly, I would like to see the stats that prove that. Because to me, it seems like all of this is meant to be straight-up fear-mongering propaganda. Because she literally said in that clip, weed causes full-blown schizophrenia. Now, if that isn't misinformation, then I don't know what is. And the truth is, that's the type of anti-herb messaging that we hear time and time again. The same old talking points. It's getting into the hands of kids, it's affecting society, but according to this article, the DEA's new drug quiz actually admits that youth use is declining as legalization expands. And if we have a look at one of the first states in America to legalize over in Colorado, according to this, 99% of Colorado retailers properly checked IDs to prevent youth access, according to a new state report. So when they say that these products are getting into the hands of kids, and that's the reason for pushing a lot of these bans, we got to question it. Is that actually happening? Because most retailers are actually IDing. And according to the DEA, youth use is declining. But that does not stop drug busts from taking place even in legal states like New York, because just a couple weeks ago, a smoke shop next to a daycare was raided and closed after a $1.4 million cannabis bust. Check it out.
I'd say that this smoke shop at Prospect Leopard's Gardens was selling illegal cannabis. In fact, officers say they found nearly $1.5 million worth of the drug.
Eyewitness News reporter Darla Miles is live outside the shop. Darla.
Well, Tanya and Mike, this is a significant amount of illegal cannabis seized by the New York State Office of Cannabis Management. They believe not only was this a retail location, but it possibly was a hub for other illicit operations. They say this had all the telltale signs of an illegal operation, like bright lights and neon signs, things that you would never see with a licensed dispensary.
Went inside,
took out my money to buy some stuff, but it was garbage. I said, what? No more. I ain't wasting my money.
State investigators seizing 220 pounds of cannabis from a smoke shop on Rogers Avenue in Brooklyn. All untested
And he said
and
it was
unlicensed.
hot garbage.
I think the product was bad.
What?
I know it was illegal.
And the truth is, over in New York, synthetic or altered stuff like spray packs, it ain't nothing new. Channels like LMC Luke and Goblin have covered this in the past, and you guys probably heard about this before. Now, I'm not saying that that was what was found in this case, but that guy was definitely suspicious of the product that he received. And you guys may be familiar with these products as well. The smoke shop, now gated and padlocked, shut down by the New York State Office of Cannabis Management 3 weeks ago.
The laundry bags that you see, those are all contain the cannabis flower.
$1.4 million in product they say was clearly illegal, like s'mores Oreos and Ritz Bites that are trademarked. The operator even putting a sneaker display in the window to try to disguise the illicit store.
That was really just kind of subterfuge to make it look like they were a legitimate business. However, once you got into the store and got past the sneakers that were blocked behind plexiglass, then you see where they had the illegal dispensary set up.
Neighbors filing a complaint after this grand opening sign popped up out of nowhere in October without any public notice at all.
It was right next to a daycare. That in and of itself, obviously it raises the level because it's an illegal operation.
Investigators say there was so much cannabis seized, the location was likely a hub for other illegal locations.
I wonder how long that's going to last,
this was just a regular licensed dispensary.
I thought it was looking nice inside, everything, but and then afterward I said, wait a minute, there's something's going on, something is fishy in it.
So again, customers here in Brooklyn, they thought it was a legal store, did not know about it, but it were for those complaints by residents saying they did not receive any public notice. This was an enforcement action through the State Office of Cannabis Management, which means there were no arrests in this case. The proprietor of this illegal smoke shop will be subject to an administrative hearing.
Now, overregulation is not something that I agree with, but skirting the laws and
Tim?
setting
Good
up
to see you.
businesses
How you
selling
doing?
some of these products that customers themselves are saying there's clearly something wrong with, then that's a little bit of an issue for me. And you guys would have heard it in that clip. This customer literally found something was off with the product. The product tasted bad. It was just probably not good product. And that's a big issue when it comes to a lot of these unregulated shops. A lot of them go through no form of testing. So the truth is you don't always know what you're purchasing. Now, we've seen similar operations happening across other states like Wisconsin, Texas, and New Mexico, just to name a few. But perhaps the most shocking thing that we've seen recently happened just a couple days ago as a traveler on his way to Spanibus was intercepted by TSA agents at the Washington Dulles Airport after his luggage raised concerns during screening. And this guy was traveling with e-rigs, dab rights, bangers, and jars filled with hash and extracts. Check it out.
It's some kind of vaporizer. I believe you place the substance in here, and then it creates like a fume that you inhale. This looks expensive looking. I looked it up online. $300 per. 300. Yeah, it's quite a major in the bag. It's probably going to sell this overseas. It definitely appears to be a commercial shipment.
All right, be after B. Good to see you. Have a nice evening. We'll be on the lookout for more productions and lives coming from the big homie Beat After Beat.
Like why have all these belts? There's something going on.
Yeah, they have all these kind of festivals over there in Europe.
I've never seen this stuff in my life.
Resin, that'll have a way higher concentration of THC than your average marijuana in the plant form.
Up to 90% THC, bro. So this is like big money, then.
Big money, it is.
It used to be just marijuana and hash. That was it. But now we're seeing THC butter, the liquid that fills the vapes, the rosin. A lot of people think that, they see this as going to be weed, but if I put this stuff in a jar that says honey, it looks like honey, they're going to think it's honey. But it still has the odor. The odor is still there.
So this could be like used to make like a lot.
He's got a ton of packing, so he plans on making a lot.
Okay. He has a full box here, containers that I guess he's going to put the prohibited substance in with the logo of his business. It's obviously for some type of distribution or sale. He has quite a bit of it. It's not just your regular recreational use marijuana. So the marijuana's going to get seized, all the paraphernalia will get seized. Passing you over these bags. We're going to talk to him right now and see if he opens up to us, see what the true purpose is, and see what all this is for. Have a seat. I want to ask you a couple questions.
So obviously that guy was doing the most. Traveling internationally with all that, you're asking for trouble. And this is a perfect time to let anyone know if you guys are traveling to Spain for Spanibus, please be safe. Don't do anything stupid. Because the truth is, a lot of these law enforcement officers, whether it's the police, the DEA, or TSA agents, a lot of them are aware of the advancements when it comes to the good herb. A lot of them know what these cartridges look like. A lot of them are aware of what the extracts smell like. So trying to slip something under their nose without them knowing, it may not be as easy. And I do want to show you guys another instance of a crazy drug bust which happened over at a Girl Scout campground over in Washington County in Wisconsin. But before we get into that, just a quick reminder, if you're getting value from this video, please do like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to support us further, join the ICANN VIP Bean Club or cop some merch from our merch store. We got that new American grown hoodie. Use that code ICANN THC and grab it now. And if you happen to be a home gardener, try the ICANN Organics. Use the code LEGAL. It works on the bundle and the seeds.
And first on this Friday night is that drug bust at a Washington County Girl Scout camp.
Marijuana, mushrooms, and guns all found inside of a home at Camp Silverbrook, right near West Bend. 12 News' Emily Pofall reports the man, now charged, is a convicted felon.
There's not just cabins and campgrounds here at Camp Silverbrook. There's a house deputies found hiding an illegal and potentially dangerous drug operation. March 15th, Washington County deputies came to the Camp Silverbrook house for a domestic violence call. There, they found an arrested 48-year-old Paul David. Court documents say David lived there with his wife, a Girl Scouts employee, and children aged 8 and 16. During a sweep of the place, investigators found processed marijuana in a closet just outside the children's bedrooms and under a bed. They found 9 marijuana plants. In total, it's enough weed for almost 1,400 joints. Investigators say they also found psychoactive mushrooms, substantially more than just for personal use. Also inside the home, guns. 13 of them. Some of them, investigators say,
not
were
much
loaded.
money, but
Deputies
it's about
found
enough
guns at the
weed
foot
for
of
a
the
lot of
bed,
joints.
under the bed, on a nightstand, in between 2 closets, and one even hanging in a shoulder bag in the hallway where the youngest child could access. David's not allowed to own guns, having previous felony convictions for OWI in Wisconsin and DUI in Illinois. A Girl Scout spokesperson says no scouts have been endangered or harmed at Camp Silverbrook. The organization declined an interview, but says they didn't find anything illegal in the house during a routine inspection in December. A spokesperson also wouldn't say when David moved in or if they knew he was a felon. David made bond and is no longer in custody, though a Girl Scout spokesperson tells me he's not living here and he's not allowed within 1,000 feet of the property.
So cases like that obviously raise a lot of questions. And what you guys would have heard in that clip is that he had 9 plants and they worked that out to be about 1,400 joints. Now, I don't know how they came up with that calculation, but to me, that math doesn't seem to be mathing. But nonetheless, that incident took place just a few days ago over in Prohibitionist, Wisconsin. But we do have another really interesting emerging story coming out of New Mexico. Because according to this, a cannabis dispensary is facing legal challenges simply because it's near the Texas state line. Have a look.
While recreational cannabis has been legal in New Mexico for several years, it is still illegal in Texas.
Tonight's Target 7 investigation reveals a unique problem for a dispensary just feet away from the Texas state line. Here's Jason McNabb.
Pure Life Dispensary has nearly 20 locations scattered throughout New Mexico. One of their newest is this spot in the southern part of our state, in Sunland Park. Data from the New Mexico Licensing Department shows the city brings in the second highest cannabis sales in the entire state, only behind Albuquerque, totaling more than $130 million in revenue last year. Part of the reason, the city's proximity to the much larger El Paso, Texas, where possession, sale, and use of recreational cannabis is illegal. Sunland Park is so close that just across the parking lot from the new Pure Life location is El Paso, Texas. But there's just one problem. The New Mexico state line takes a unique shape here.
running just south of Country Club Road before turning north about a half-mile west. Pure Life is on the south side of Country Club Road. The building and most of the parking lot is located within the state of New Mexico, but after making a purchase and leaving the parking lot, customers would need to drive a half-mile west through Texas to be back in New Mexico.
It's a very unusual situation, but it does raise questions.
KOAT legal expert John Day says it's possible that law enforcement in Texas could scout someone leaving the dispensary, pull them over in Texas before they reach New Mexico again just down the road, and arrest them for drug possession.
It's a huge gamble. It's a unique situation, but at the same time, it is
within
the laws
bullshit.
of if Texas wants to pass and enforce those laws, they can do it.
Texas because,
and anyone who wants to purchase something from a dispensary that makes that requires you to drive through a state where that product is illegal,
down the street, I'm heading back to the same town I just left.
And the gamble you're taking.
I think it's dangerous for consumers. It's dangerous
and
to
you've
patients.
now gone
Ben
and
Lewinger is a
federally committed a
cannabis
crime
policy expert,
because you done
being
went
the
state
former
to state.
executive director
Federal.
of the New Mexico
Yeah.
Cannabis Chamber of Commerce.
State police can pick you up in either one,
One
right?
of the results of having a patchwork of statewide cannabis laws, but no real addressing of where cannabis is now at the federal level.
And that's exactly what I've said time and time again. With a patchwork of laws across all these states in America, we find ourselves in situations where consumers and law-abiding citizens could run foul of that law really easily. And that example, which you guys would have just seen, where you could purchase legal product in New Mexico, but be forced to drive through Texas just for a couple minutes before you're back in New Mexico, you could potentially be arrested. That's absolutely mind-blowing. But all this just goes to show the crazy laws where you could be a legal medical card holder in one state, but in another state, you're a criminal. But thankfully, states like New York are seeking to address some of these issues, as New York senators have approved a bill addressing medical reciprocity for out-of-state patients and pre-rolled joints. And personally, I think this is great, because under this proposal, a person who's not a resident of New York, but is authorized to engage in the medical use of the good herb, that person will be deemed to hold a valid registry identification if the person provides legitimate documentation and abides by the legal limits of possession, delivery, and production in New York State. So seeing laws that actually make sense, that's great. But when it comes to the good herb and people operating in this industry, there's so many laws and regulations that a lot of folks find it really difficult to even operate in the first place. And this next clip shows you guys in a nutshell exactly how many rules and regulations a lot of these businesses over in New York actually have to follow. Have a look.
All of New York State's licensed dispensaries are required to have what we call the dispensary verification tool. It's a sticker on the outside of the dispensary, very clearly visible from the entrance. You scan that sticker. It has a QR code. You scan that QR code, takes you back to the Office of Cannabis Management's website, where you see your dispensary listed on our website, which affirms that it is, in fact, a regulated dispensary.
Buying it from a legal dispensary, all of our products are going to be tested and regulated by the state. So everything that you get here is tested for, molds, toxins, metals, and then potency. So what you get here, you know exactly what you're consuming. Each product will come with a QR code on it, and that is traced back to the distributor and then the cultivator. You can scan that QR code, and it'll give you all of the information from that cultivator, the processor, and the distributor.
Buying cannabis illegally can come at a cost. You may have to pay the price with unexpected side effects. Without regulation, potency levels can vary, making it easy to consume more THC than you wanted.
Some folks end up consuming too much THC and winding up going to the emergency room.
Cannabis safety doesn't just stop at the shelf. It continues at home with proper, secure storage to ensure that children aren't easily able to access it.
You don't feel good sitting down, get your ass up.
Age requirements, not selling to kids, testing products so you know what's actually in there. I think that those are good things. But when it comes to high taxes, high licensing fees, over-regulations, and government overreach, I think that that's where we need to draw the line. But let me know what you guys think about everything that we discussed in today's video. From the ramped-up drug busts and increased anti-herb messaging to what's happening over in New Mexico and Texas, drop your thoughts and concerns in the comment section down below. Now, in our next video, there's some huge weed laws which are sweeping multiple states and will really shake things up. So if you haven't seen that, check it out. It's coming up right now.
From summer's end till the winter comes, till gray days turn to yellow ones. I stayed grinding for mine. I tried to tell them once, to travel to the moon, you gotta brave the elements. And battle many goons, you gotta cage the elephants. It's elementary, I speak with a certain eloquence. I smoke hella blunts, a habit I've been developed since I was a young boy playing the silver ball. See them stand, feel them fall, Metallica, kill them all. Living like this is my last moment, but a moment could last forever. Snap a picture in that colon. Give whatever you going, sip in your glass, hold it up. Hit the side on mine, get the tip in the back, go in. So many days we were sitting low. Better get busy living till the day you giving and then get to go where the sinners go. Pulling the cash and spend it slow, better make it fast, but them should know. Matter no money, yo, it's all expendable. You'll be alright, yeah.
Okay, so now we are done with our video portion of the day. Make sure that's paused because we're going other places. Right. Yeah, y'all know how it is. Welcome to the team, TDWC. The next thing we're going to do is the same thing I tell y'all to do is your monetization coach. Make sure you what? Stay active and post to your Buy Me a Coffee. Every time you post something that's considered content, go ahead, drop a post to your Buy Me a Coffee. And it's as easy as doing what the big homies finna show you right here. Let's go into our studios, because we in the studios. Appreciate the studio time. You know what I mean? You ain't got to pay to be in somebody else's studio. You can be in your own studio. Then we're going to go over here to live, right? Because we're currently live. Imagine that. I don't know how that happened. It's Rumble Studios and YouTube. And get your Rumble synced up with your YouTube, and guess what you can do? Be live on both platforms. Shouts out to that part of the game, right? Because, you know, that's another part of your monetization coaching. Hell, we'll get you on multiple platforms. Then Rumble also lets you be on any of a lot of the other platforms you might want to be live on also. So, yeah, you can just be live on every platform that can sync up to your Rumble. Yeah, but I ain't, telling y'all nothing that's useful. I'm just out here lollygagging, right? Right. Yeah, take your boy serious because, hell, we'll talk about getting some money for everybody. Everybody but me. Well, I'll get me money because I get me money anyways because that's what I do. You know what I'm saying? Hell, I get out here and make shit happen. As she said, we about that action. Shout out to the Jacksons, because Joe will tell you, you better get out there and get you some money, boy. Hey, put in some work, do something. I'll be coming to asking Joe for money. I got Joe money, not your money. Yeah, that be how it be. So y'all know how that is. Shout out to Joe for being about his. Somebody got to be about it. Hell, I ain't gonna let these kids sit up and be lazy. Hell, I'm gonna show them how to get money. And if they don't want to listen, then they can get put the fuck out. Well, get your broke ass away from me, right? I don't understand none of that bro talk. Speaking of broke, y'all know to hit the memberships on the Buy Me a Coffee because, it's highly recommended and suggested. You see, you can get you some memberships because you make content, you put in work, people might want to be supportive of you. You dig? They might want to. I ain't going to say they will, but, hell, if you give them something to support, it will get support. Shout out to the post because I stay posting active about them posts, right? What's today's video? 26 Canna ban updates. Yep, we're gonna link that. Oh, we got it right the first time, people. He's lucky today. Tech Problems ain't showed up yet. But hey, they are our number one supporter. Tech Problems, guaranteed to be there. If nothing else show up, Tech Problems will. Hell, that motherfucker be faithful. Like, oh, you think you doing it? I got you. Let me calm your ass down. Unless you decided to see me in person. Yeah. Oh, but we'll be having an update on the garden on Saturday's video for all the people wondering what's going on over there. Hell, I'll do it on my own time. Don't bug me or rush me, right? Make sure y'all remind me on Saturday. Be like, hey, I thought you said you wanted us to wait till Saturday. And I'll be like, yeah, I thank y'all for waiting till Saturday, but it might be next Saturday. Hey, you never know. Hell, I might do it, but then again, I'm gonna be doing videos anyway, so hell, I ain't gonna hold y'all up today with the garden walk because I can talk hours, and once I go in there, and the next thing you know, YouTube ain't gonna be trying to be paying me, but Rumble will be like, "We love you." Yeah, but anyway, y'all have a nice night. I'll see y'all Saturday and Sunday at 10 a.m. But, Rumble, y'all will catch me for the Spider Pig upload, or you catch me on Spider Pig channel on YouTube. Holla at your boy.